All right, everybody, let's do the first episode here of Grumpy. What is that? What do I call this channel? Grumpy Old IT. I'm sorry, I'm eating some like those baby carrots. So I've asked a couple of other guys to maybe help me out with this channel, come on and do some sort of collaboration, and because we're sort of getting up there in age, and myself and some of my friends, we've done IT for a long time, and well, shit's a changing, I say. And let's start with VMware. So, as the title of this video, what happened to VMware? Because I'll tell you the truth, I got a bunch of installs and implementations out there using 5 and 6, I think, and then I was sort of rejigging my home network, and I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna set it up in a way that I think makes the most sense after trials and errors of a bunch of different setups. And that being, you just have a machine like a regular computer for file share, and then okay, well, do I need to have it in RAID mode? Well, okay, have it in RAID mode, and then a disk dies, and mirroring copies of corruption. I've had a lot of problems, not a lot, but I've had issues with, my home thing. So I'm like, I'm going to do it right. So I was able to get my hands on an older Synology for not much money, basically no money. And I bought a couple new drives for it, and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So let me open Paint. Do they still have Paint in Windows? Oh yeah, it's still there. Okay. So let's just do this. I have a friggin' tablet thing, but I'm not gonna take that out now. Okay, so I have a, oh, look at this. This is great. Let's just call this is my Synology here. It's 2bay 4T and 4T. Oh, and this is in, so this is striped. No redundancy. Oh shit. Redundancy. Okay. Shit, this is really hard. I should get that tablet out. That Wacom thing. Okay, so basically this and this is 8 terabytes. So I'm like, all right, great. Because why? Because I'll explain why RAID is just crap. Okay, it's not crap. And I'll tell you why in the end it kind of helps you out a little bit in certain scenarios. And then I have a little tiny here. This is one of those Lenovo, right? Those little tinies. And this has like 16 gig. And it has 120 SSD, and it has like, well, that's it. And it has just 1 gigabit port. And these are attached to a gig switch. Right, bing, bong. And inside here, I got a couple of VMs. So one's like Ubuntu. And another one is Windows 7 preferred over Windows 10 for me. And then I do my file sharing off here. So I have like my files here. Now, why did I do it this way? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'm really getting off the topic of VMware right now, but then I have this connected to this using iSCSI for the entire 8 terabytes. So now this is going to do all the processing of the VMs, and this is going to be my 8 terabyte storage array for the VMs. Some of you might say, well, how's the performance and stuff? You know what? It's pretty good. I don't trust this Synology device though. I don't really trust it. I know it's going to die. Actually, it already did die, When I brought it home, as soon as I plugged it in, within oh shit, within like a couple of days, the power supply failed, and I had to change the power supply. It's not brand new, it's used, but still, give me a break. Let's color this thing in too. Oh yeah, that's awesome. What about this one? Yeah. Okay. So you get it, right? So you get this. So these actually are booting off of here. That's booting off there. That's booting off there. Okay, so great. So I'm like, okay, so what am I going to use as the hypervisor? First I was thinking of using KVM. So that's like basically Linux based. And then I thought, screw it, I'm going to use VMware. Okay, so I'm going to 6.5, I think something 6.5, something that's like the newest one. So I install VMware and I go to download the client. You remember this? Remember this dude here? Oh, I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna. Remember this guy? Oh yeah, there you go, here and here. You know, see, this is using 5.5, right? So I have this client, and you know, it's it was good, right? It gives my summary on the VMs and all this kind of stuff, and I can go in and I can go into the configuration and go into anything here, storage or whatever, blah 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 blah, networking, just kind of do whatever. But then I figured out, after I installed 6.5, is they have this new web interface. I know you guys like this drawing, but okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. Oh fuck it. I'm just gonna move. Well, I'm gonna get dinged. Google's gonna ding me for that F-bomb. Okay, so I might bleep that out. Screw it. I'm gonna move that over here. And okay, so I got Google Chrome up and I got my IP address of the host server and I'm gonna log in, right? So I'm like, oh, this is cool because they switched everything over to web-based. I'm like, that's cool. I don't need the client. It wasn't really a big deal because you could always just go to the IP address of the old host server, HTTPS, and download the client, and it would give you the correct client to manage that instance. Yeah, you know, if you had 5.5, you needed the right client, and 5, you needed a different client, older client, stuff like that. But you could install them in parallel. It doesn't really make a big deal. But anyways, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, web-based. You know, everything is going web-based these days because, you know, well, that's another episode. So I'm gonna log in. So I go for the first time to log in, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty awesome, right? I'm using Chrome right now. And apparently this whole thing is using HTML5. So I'm like, oh, you know, Chrome's pretty good at rendering and stuff like that. So all that kind of stuff. So let's go into storage. And yeah, there's my Synology at 8, at 7. Yeah, after formatting, what are you gonna do? Okay, so I go into the Synology there. Okay, that's great. Let's go into, I don't know, let's go into networking. So I just have one NIC on the host, you know, nothing crazy. I know I should separate my SCSI network, but if the Tiny had 2 NICs, I would have done it, but it's only got 1. So I got virtual switches, virtual NICs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, I am using CHAP on that, so there is some sort of security sort of on that. So I'm going to go into virtual machines, and I'm like, okay, so I've got some VMs here, and okay, so I set one up, and I set up this Windows box, and that looks all good, right? And it's got like a nice little graph there. And so I got browser console, launch remote console, download VMRC, which is kind of like an application, like it downloads a local app to do this. So let's launch a browser console. And oh, that seems to be looking okay. Of course, Windows, you know, has a hard time figuring out if it's ever connected to the internet. So, you know, let's do this. Oh, amazing. Was it DNS? Okay, it's ping Google, right? Because I'm pretty sure this thing is reliant on DNS. This little icon. Oh, look, it just flipped. Anyways. that could also, and this is running off the iSCSI target, which is the NAS, which is the Synology NAS. And look, you know, it runs pretty well. I mean, I don't have anything on it. This is just my file share. But as you can see, like I'm clicking around and, you know, everything, you know, is kind of hunky-dory so far. It's not doing anything. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, so let's log out. Because what I wanted to show you is actually not happening. I don't friggin' know why. Oh, look at that. So I get this unhandled exception, right? This is the first, it didn't happen just a moment ago as you saw, but when I first logged in, I'm like, oh my God, so cool. And then unhandled exception. Go in here, some JavaScript error. Reload. All right, I'm like, okay, it's glitchy, right? It's glitchy. It's glitchy. Oh, look, I tried to log in again. You can't do anything at this point. You're stuck staring at this. You're stuck. You're stuck. Reload. All right, sorry, really reload. All right. Okay. Oh, you're stuck. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Okay, so okay, I don't know. Let's duplicate the tab. Close the original tab. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, so I'm like, okay, this is not good. Maybe they want you to use Firefox, right? But I'm like, but it's supposed to be HTML5 based. So, all right. And like magic, we have Firefox running. And I will say, yes, it does work. It does have less issues on Firefox, but I don't know if it's going to happen, but oh my God. But it still does happen on Firefox, and it is quite annoying. And not only that, but there are some other things that I've noticed that, like, here, just settings of the, like, see this shit? Look at this. Memory doesn't accept negative value. I didn't put that in there. This was happening to me constantly when I was creating this machine. So I'm like, what? 0, please. This is nothing here. I don't want anything here. Okay, let's go to open Windows box for a second. Right? Actions. Edit. Look at this. So there's already an error in here. So I had to zero this out all the time and then save it. Also, you can see here my network adapter. Look, I can't even select it. Like this, basically the web app has crashed in the background. It's not reporting correct information. What the hell is this shit? Like, so then I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I just started looking some stuff up, and then you get like VM, like, you know, you can see here, vSphere web client sucks. Sucks what? What does it suck? Sucks so bad, my experience manager supporting VMware has turned to shit. So, okay, I'm assuming this isn't just ESXi related, even though I think there's a different version. There's a slightly different version from ESXi and ESX. I don't know what the difference is. It's like an incremental build. But anyways, I started looking here and everyone's got the same problem. Right? Let's look. Yeah. Yeah, look, a connection error. You know, all sorts of different open console. Different readings. I have CPU usage for VM in 3 different places. All of them are showing different readings. I'm not going to do the F-bomb. What happened to VMware? Like they really screwed the friggin' pooch on this one. I like the web interface. I don't necessarily like the layout that much. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I guess you could get used to it. It's not, you know, it's to me. And if you keep reading these forums, you don't even know like if this thing is reporting the correct information and values on certain items. So I don't know what the hell VMware is doing these days, but they better smarten up because they're probably already getting crushed by Amazon and Azure, Microsoft, on the cloud front. It's not like I keep up with what the hell VMware's doing on a daily basis or monthly basis. Like I just, it used to be very reliable. Like this shit used to be extremely reliable. And if you keep reading some of these forums, there's some indication of people saying like, yeah, like I tried to do this on the new one and it screwed up my production environment. So that's a no. That's like a big ass no. I don't have to say, guys. Like I got it running and it's just my home network, so I don't care. I can deal with the sort of glitches, and I'm sure that, well, I'm not sure anymore of anything, but I'm hoping that these guys are gonna fix some of these problems, because this is just like, okay, edit settings, right? I'm surprised it hasn't crashed on me in another time, to be honest with you. And look, like this, like what is this? Like CPU's like not there. Okay, like look, okay, I'll correct it, right? Oops. It doesn't refresh anything. I still can't pull this shit down. That my VMware adapter's not there. And if you look here, the network adapter's right here, VMware network connected, right? Let's go in here. I haven't actually played around with this too much. Okay, well that's cool. I like these little things. Oh, that's awesome. What else? I think that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I will see you. Oh, do you guys? I will see you on the. There you go. I'll leave that. I'll leave this for you guys. All right. What do you think of this? I think this is a good idea, doing it this way. Why do I need the Synology hosting anything for me? I don't trust it to begin with. So if it can just be dumb storage, I know it's running an iSCSI, obviously, server client in the background, but I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. Can't you wait for episode 2?